Hey everyone, we're here with Hayden from Coffin Rot. If you don't know them, you're fucking missing out. They are a fantastic fucking death metal band based out of Portland, Oregon. Um, the new album is fucking fantastic. Um, I don't know how else to put it. Like, holy shit, it is so fucking good. My first question to you, Hayden, is there a song that sticks out to you as like your favorite to play or listen to?
First of all, thank you for the kind words about the album. Really appreciate that. Um, like from all of our songs, or just this album in
That
particular?
let's say this album particularly.
Okay. Um, yeah, my favorite for sure is The Howling Man, the closing track.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that one was actually so a few of us in the band, we were also in a doom band, and I played bass. I didn't sing, and the Howling Man is a episode of the Twilight Zone, also called the Howling Man. It's about these monks that they think they have Satan locked up in their dungeon, and this guy comes and lets the dude out because he feels bad for him, and it turns out it actually is the devil. And I told the singer of the last band, I'm like, dude, you should write a fucking song about this because this would make such a good song. And he never thought it was a cool idea. So I was like, well, I'll just hang on to it until Coffin Rot has a piece of music that it'll work for. And then we started writing the music for this one, and it seemed perfect. And I took it as like an extra challenge because, all of our songs are about eating people and being eaten and diseases. So I was like, well, this will be, an epic track, but also like the first one where nobody dies and
Yeah.
nobody's getting eaten and nobody's got some fucked up disease or getting experimented on or something. Um, so this one like felt like I put more effort into than I had like other tracks previously. And I was really excited about the way that it came out.
Hell yeah. That's fucking cool. Now I'm gonna have to go back and really dig into the Howling Man because, uh, of course, death metal. Unless you're reading the lyrics, it's really fucking hard to get the lyrics.
For sure, yeah.
I really like perverted exclamation.
Ah,
Right. Like I really dig the fucking solo in there. I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool. Um, and it kind of throws you because it almost fucking I don't know. I mean, I've only listened to it twice, so like bear with me. Um, I'm not prepared for it to go into the fucking guitar solo when it does, and I'm like, okay, like
yeah.
I gotta pay, like get back. Do I have to get back on track, or what the fuck's going on? Um, but it's a really good fucking standout track in my mind. Uh,
That
is
one's really fun to play live. That's the one that people seem to enjoy the most.
Yeah, yeah, I could fucking imagine it. Like the hell's
Yeah,
going on
and
over here?
that one's fun because, like, the obviously the subject matter is gross and the riffs are gross and everything's, fast and psychotic. And then out of nowhere, that super melodic solo comes in, and like melodic in a way that, like, could almost feel out of place, but somehow it sounds right.
Yep.
You're like, whoa, I'm not expecting, you would be expecting like a Jeff Hanneman solo,
Yeah.
not, not, you know, that melodic one that Johnny does.
Yeah. No, not at all. You're absolutely right. You definitely expect more of a Hanneman style to be in there, and it's like, and not that it's out of place. It's just, it's different. It makes you like it's almost like having a conversation with someone and having to scream at them sometimes to get them to fucking like refocus. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's really fucking cool. Um, so when did the album just came out, right?
Yeah, came out on Friday, the September 20th.
Hell yeah. How have you seen the reception to be with it?
So far, the reception seems real good. There's nobody's really had anything awful to say. um, yeah, most of the reviews have been good. Um, had a lot of people hit me up privately and tell me they thought the record was cool. There's a guy, my brother plays drums, Derek.
Mhm.
A guy that he and I went to school with, he hit me up on Instagram out of nowhere, and he was like, "Hey, I was listening to this before my students came in. I think he teaches English or something. He's high school. He's like, I was listening to it before my students came in, and I thought it was really great. So then I listened to it with them. Like, oh, that's probably not the best idea, but I appreciate it.
I don't know, from a band's perspective, I think that's the fucking, those are the people you want, the high schoolers, because they got jobs, they're starting to get money, like,
Yeah, yeah. Use your mom's internet to buy some tapes and shit.
yeah. Hook it up, dude. We'll sign the tape, send it to you.
Absolutely.
That's fucking awesome. So speaking of tapes, what kind of physical copies do you guys um have with the latest album?
There's CDs, there's tapes, there's two different variants of vinyl. Those haven't arrived yet, but they will shortly. Um, yeah, I mean anything you could want, we'll have it.
Anything. There's someone out there going, I want a fucking 8 track. You're like,
Yep.
come on.
Yeah, I
So
want the audio only on a VHS tape.
yeah, yeah. But I love the bands that do that kind of stuff. Like, there's a band here, Belushi Speedball, that um, they've released they released a single on a slice of pizza. They, yeah, no, pretty nifty, huh?
Yeah, how do you do that?
I don't know, but it, I think it takes them like 5 days to make one like single.
Wow.
So
Hmm,
yeah, it's,
that's pretty cool.
it's ballsy. I'm like, what are you guys gonna do next? Like, fucking drive to Florida or California and like get a palm tree and make the palm tree the single? Like, they've done, what have they done? N64. They've done a Teddy Ruxpin album. Yeah, just I think it's neat because they do all this weird, or I guess it is weird, like album
It,
release shit. Yeah,
yeah, I can't remember the name of the band, but there was a band here locally. Shit, probably 10 years ago. They released their demo tape, but instead of having like regular tape cases, they bought cases that looked like the Super Nintendo video game case boxes and like designed the cover to where it looked like it was like a Super Nintendo game.
hell yeah.
That was pretty cool.
That is that is pretty cool. People are like, I still have this motherfucker from 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I had one of those, but yeah, I have one.
I bet you can find one on eBay.
Probably.
Someone's got one somewhere. So what got you into playing music initially?
Um, when I was a kid, my dad would listen to stuff like Dio was really big in the house. Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and White Zombie and Metallica and stuff like that. So I grew up, my brother Derek and we grew up listening to that kind of stuff with them, and then we got a little older, and my dad, um, he showed us "Rain and Blood" by Slayer. My mom left for work one day, and as soon as she drove off, my dad goes, "Derek, Hayden, come here." So we come downstairs, and my dad goes, "There's something I've been wanting to show you guys all of your lives, and your mom has always told me no." And I'm sick and tired of this. So don't tell her that I showed you this, but you guys need to hear this. And then, Angel of Death starts up, and we're like, holy shit. So then hearing that for the first time, like 9 years old or something, that really like kick-started, a bigger interest in metal music. And then I think Derek was the first one who got an instrument. My parents bought him a drum set from our neighbor, and I think he was like 12. And that drum set is the drum set that he still uses now. There's a little fun fact. He's had the same drum set for 18 years.
Fuck. Good for him though for caring for it so much that it still works.
Yeah, I mean, I think my parents paid like $200 or $300 for the whole set. I mean, it was like a premier kit, and just the guy never played it. So Derek's kept pretty good care of the shells over the years. Um, yeah, so then he got into playing drums, and then I wanted to learn something. So I told my parents I wanted an electric guitar, and I think the one that I sent them was that like beginner, like lightning bolt looking Dimebag Daryl blue guitar. It's
Yeah.
like, this is the one I want for my birthday. And they had hinted they were getting me a guitar, and I was hyped up. And then my birthday rolls around, and they gave me like a kid size acoustic guitar. And I'm like, what? My mom was like, well, we figured that it would be easier to learn on an acoustic. So we thought that this was the best plan. And my dad is like shaking his head in the background. I'm like, well, fuck. So then one of their friends had, one of their friends was a big musician and, played every instrument in the church band kind of thing. And he offered to give me lessons, and I could not figure out the guitar. So I was like, well, is bass easier? So then he kind of taught me how to do that. So then one thing led to another. Derek and I tried to start a band. I think I was still in middle school, and, we were awful. But yeah, I mean, fast forward many years, just we started hanging out with people that liked better music. I didn't even hear any death metal bands until I was like 18. I started hanging out with a couple of friends, and my my buddy was wearing a death shirt, Scream Bloody Gore, and I was like, Death, that's kind of a on the nose band name. And he's like, you don't know Death? I'm like, no. And he's like, what the fuck? So he turned on his turntable and put Scream Bloody Gore on. I'm like, holy hell. So then and then I bought a tape player and a turntable and started buying stuff randomly. Found a lot of cool stuff on eBay, just, looking at the cover art. Like, that's how I found Benediction. And
Oh
then,
yeah.
that led us to where we were, having Dave Ingram on the new album. So yeah, it was quite the process getting into this kind of music, but
It usually is,
yep,
like you're like, I wouldn't change it for the fucking world.
no, the only thing I would change is trying to get into it earlier.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I the town that we grew up in, there was nobody that liked. I mean, there was two guys that I hung out with that, their favorite bands are like Iron Maiden and Lamb of God. So, I heard a lot of Pantera stuff. But most of the people in our town, they were into like all that metalcore bullshit. So then, like, that's what we got into because we thought that that was like the cool, heavy music. So, went to all those shows all the time, and then discovered all the cool death metal stuff and was like, this is what I was looking for. Not, you know, the weenie stuff.
But it's funny when that happens though, right? Because
Yeah.
when you find that music that sits just right, you're like, it's like the fucking skies open up and oh,
Yep. Yep.
Uh, and there's some good like metalcore and deathcore out there. Like I kind of dig it, but I love my death metal too. Like sitting here with Cannibal Corpse, like uh,
The
at,
best.
dude, like so, you know, what are they? They're 30 plus years of playing now, 35 years, 34 years, something like that. Like holy fuck,
Yeah,
and
and they're smoking every band out there,
oh
even
yeah,
today. They make all of us look like amateurs.
for sure. And my favorite thing is I see a video probably every couple of weeks comes up with Corpse Grinder up on the stage, and you see the security guy standing there and he's like, I come blood, and the guy's like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah,
Like,
looked over at his buddy like, the fuck?
best thing fucking ever.
What did he say?
Like, did I hear that shit right? Like, he might need to go to the doctor.
Yeah, for sure.
So is there like, do you have goals or thresholds with the new album that you'd like to hit and cross?
What do you mean?
Just like, like a listener increase on, Spotify or Apple, or, like a sales record, or maybe, taking you out on the road for a month with such and such band or anything like that.
I mean, not really anything specific. I mean, um we would like to see the festival offers coming in, and you know, um some reasonable tour offers, because we've had some offers, but offers with great bands that we'd love to go out and spend some time with, but just logistically couldn't make it work. You know, most of us have wives and families and stuff, so they're like, yeah, we'll give you $150 a night. We can't really make that work.
No.
Much as you would like to. If I was 18, I certainly would do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what I personally am hoping for. Is I would love to get an email from the Maryland Death Fest guys, or you know something like that. You know, reasonable goals. We'd like to go to Europe, or go do that kind of stuff. Playing in Portland, is it's fun, but we've done it enough. We'd really like to branch out and go elsewhere.
I feel like the West Coast though is, you've got some long drives, I guess, to get places, but
Yeah,
once you get to that next place, it's not too much further to the next place, you
yeah,
know.
yeah. It's like about 2.5 hours to Seattle from here. And then, I mean, that's really the only like big city. Because then the next thing for us would be like, I guess maybe Eugene, but I don't know how well shows do down there. Um, yeah, it's a long trek down to California.
Yeah.
I
How far is San Fran for you?
think that'd probably be like 8 hours, 9 hours.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, it's a bit of a drive. I mean, it's almost 6 hours just down to the border from us. So
Holy shit. Wow, I didn't like obviously I'm a geography scholar here. I know where every city is. Um yeah. I guess I was thinking more of like Bend. Isn't Bend more like in the middle of Oregon?
yeah, it's Central Oregon. I don't know how we do in Bend. It's a lot of that's like it's kind of a hoity-toity uptight community.
Oh, you'd do fucking great there. Like
Yeah.
those fucking rich kids love dirty ass death metal.
Yeah, I'm sure that there'd be tens of people excited to see us.
Yeah, we got the bartender and all the bands tonight.
Yeah, we got 14 people, including the staff.
Oh, love those
But yeah,
fucking shows.
but yeah, I mean, right after the second single premiered, Hands of Death, we got an email offering us to go down to LA and open for Massacre and Sadistic Intent. So that was really cool. So we're
Fuck
gonna
yeah.
do that in November. That'll be our first time playing down in LA.
Are
But
you guys
yeah,
gonna turn that into like, so you're just driving down for the one show that night?
yep, yep. Then we'll come back.
Okay. You
Yeah,
tr
it's 2 days after Thanksgiving, so
okay.
it makes it trying to do other stuff a little difficult.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, so we're just gonna do a one off, and then we'll see how that goes, and you know hope for some other opportunities, which I'm sure they'll come.
Yeah,
Just we need something that isn't $150 a night. You know,
yeah, yeah.
and
You're
hey,
like,
yeah, this is the offer, and oh yeah, and you have you know 5 hours to have a confirmation answer. It's like, well, shit.
that's the immediate response should be, we have a $2,000 guarantee.
Yeah, I think I wish we could ask for 2,000.
If they offer, listen, here is what I've learned in negotiation. When you get offered those things, like they're gonna offer you a super low fucking number because they're really hoping that you'll take it.
Yep.
So what it is, it's called setting a low anchor. Well, if you come back and say, hey, we're gonna set this fucking high anchor, right, at 2 grand, then like if you don't get it, you don't fucking get it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna take the 150 anyway. But if you can get them to come up to 800 or 1,000, then
Yeah. We're on the road.
yeah. And the wives aren't too pissed that you're making at least a little bit of money.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, we need some good stuff like that to happen. But
All
I
right.
mean, as far as like Spotify or any of that stuff goes, like I just want people to like the record. So, you know, seeing people's Instagram stories, saying, "Wow, the new Coffin Rot record is cool," like that makes me happy.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, it should. I mean, it's a great fucking album. Um, is there a band that you'd really like to go hit the road with?
Yeah, I've actually hit him up a bunch of times hoping to bait him. Um, Max Cavalera is like my hero.
Okay.
Um, so, and he is actually a Coffin Rot fan, which is cool. The coolest thing that's ever happened in my life was that dude posting a video on Instagram saying that he thought Coffin Rot was cool.
Fuck yeah.
Uh, I would love to go out with the Cavalera brothers, on one of their tours.
Yeah.
Um, Second place would definitely be Cannibal Corpse. I mean, I pretty much owe all of my vocal ability to Corpse Grinder and Chris Barnes.
Yeah.
It's like sitting down listening to those records and trying to do that was what helped me learn how to do this.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. Well, and I'm stoked because SFU is going on tour here in a couple of months with Nile. I'm like, oh, I gotta fucking, I can't miss that.
Yeah, because I'm sure he plays Cannibal Corpse songs live, right? The,
Honestly, I have no clue. You would think maybe, but there might be so much animosity there that he doesn't want to touch him.
Yeah. That first 6 feet under record is pretty underrated. People really like to shit on them for what they are right now, but that first record's pretty rad.
Dude, the new record's pretty fucking rad too.
Hmm.
Like, I think a lot of people shit on Chris, but like he's not a bad vocalist. Does he have some he's not a bad vocalist, you know what I mean? Um those early fucking Cannibal Corpse days, that's what I fucking grew up, that was my introduction, was Barnes era. And then, the transition to Corpse Grinder um was it was a great transition for the band. I love Corpse Grinder. I think he's a great dude and a great fucking he's a great vocalist and a front man. But Chris is no slouch either. So,
Oh,
you know, really, really excited for that. So I'm gonna my what I'm doing next month, I'm gonna try and interview Max Cavalera. Um, if I have that opportunity, I'm gonna ask him if he'll take Coffin Rot out on the fucking road.
well, I would appreciate that. Yeah, my okay. So you said you were hoping to get to some funny stories. I'll give you
Yeah.
one.
All right.
It kind of borders funny and also pitiful, but so my
Those are the
my
best ones.
my dad is like obsessed with Sepultura, Soulfly, Nail Bomb, all of it. Just
Mhm.
anything that Max is involved in, and that's where I got it. And so I think it was 3 years ago. I randomly saw on Facebook that Max was on Cameo, so I looked him up, and his videos were only $50. So I got my dad a Cameo video for Father's Day, and I of course introduced myself, because I he had already released that video, so I knew he knew about the band. So he made a cool video for my dad. He played a little bit of Slave New World and stuff, and told him Happy Father's Day, and told him that he should be proud of my brother and I for Coffin Rot and all that stuff. So then that kind of it just had that app kind of sat in the back of my mind, and they started announcing all these tours, and I was like, I gotta, like, he likes our band. I gotta get a hold of his email or something so I can be like, hey, like, let's make this happen. And I couldn't get his email, so I went on Cameo and I saw that it was $3 to send a like just a message. And so I typed out a message and I'm like, hey, I know this is lame as fuck, but this is Hayden from Coffin Rot. Like, I don't think that I could even put into words how much like you and your brother mean to me and my brother, and like especially because it's like vocalist drummer relationship, just like them, it makes it a bigger thing. And I was like, if you guys have anything coming up, like, hit us up, we will do anything. And he actually responded, and he was like, I appreciate the kind words, and like, we don't have anything in the works right now, but you know we'll keep it in the back of our mind, which may or may not be genuine. But yeah, I paid $3 to hit up Max Cavalera on Cameo, and
That's what you that's
and
not
then
what you take from that. What you take
well,
from that is he fucking responded to you.
yeah, and then I sat like, because if I wanted to reply to that message, it's another $3, and I thought, do I just leave this as is, or do I pay another $3 and just say, thanks for the reply. We appreciate it. We love you guys. Whatever. So yeah, I paid another $3. Nothing. So yeah, I may be the only guy that's ever paid money to
No,
reach out to some paid $6 to try to get us on a tour.
you definitely are not the only person to do that. there's a, there's a reason why that is an option because people will pay to do it.
Yeah.
Es- Especially having that threshold so low to try and get you on a bigger tour like Soulfly or something. Like you're fucking dumb not to take that opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, like
I was, I was like, I know he'll see it because he got money for it. So I mean,
I paid him
but
to read this fucking thing.
but I know he'll see it.
Yeah, that's funny. I interviewed his one of his guitar players, Mike DeLeon. Um, Mike speaks super high of Max. Now I've seen Max a few times. The last time I saw Soulfly, um, he had um, he had Dino playing with him, and I was fucking trash, dude. Like this was probably a year and a half, year and a half, 2 years ago. Was it? Yeah, probably about that. I saw him in this little club here, and I was so fucking drunk. I was handing my phone to people, just like take photos and do stupid shit. Like I'm glad I ended up with my phone the next day. That would now that's a that was a dumbass move.
It
Um,
worked. And
yeah, it did work out in the end. It was a lot of fun what I remember of it. Uh, so is there a like what was your like what band absolutely blew you away with their live show?
well, I'll say death metal wise, the best death metal band I've ever seen, and it's really not super close, is Autopsy.
Oh, okay.
Those like even like sometimes they're kind of sloppy, but it almost helps in some weird way. Um, those guys are just so killer and very impressive. Like Chris Reifert's vocals are somehow even more psychotic live. It doesn't make any sense. Um, yeah, other than that, Demolition Hammer really left a good impression on me. Sadistic Intent. Yeah, there's too many good ones to list. Um,
There there are a lot of really good ones. We've got a fantastic local here. I call them a local, but they do like little regional runs called Redivider. And I like quick funny story. Uh, I've been trying to see him, and every time I go to see him, like something happens. Like, you know, something come pops up last minute with one of my kids, or like they announce like a last minute show and I'm already going to another show, or or I'm out of town. So I live in Louisville, Kentucky, and Indianapolis is about 2 hours away. So Death in the Midwest is happening. And I'm like, I'm fucking going to Death in the Midwest. I've got some friends playing. Like, I'm definitely going to be there. And I look and I'm like, Redividers on this bill. This is fucking awesome. Uh, they're not the headliner, they're direct support. So I'm like, I'm definitely not fucking missing them. So I get up there and the fucking band right before them, power goes out. Someone ran into a telephone pole outside. I'm like, you motherfucker. Like I had already bought a shirt. I'm like, I'm gonna see him. I'm like, I don't want to wear a shirt if I don't go see the band live. Um, so I'm like, fuck. So a couple weeks later, they play back home at this little show, and holy fuck, dude, absolutely bonkers. Blew my fucking mind. Like I like the band, but live was so much better than I anticipated. Um, I'd like to see you all play a fucking show together.
yeah, I haven't heard of that band. I'll have to check them out.
Yeah, they're not on they're not on Spotify. They do have some Bandcamp stuff.
Hmm.
I'll pay $150 to come play with them.
Well, done deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, coincidentally, the worst set that Coffin Rot has ever played was in Indianapolis.
Oh shit.
Yeah, in 2019.
What venue?
Uh, the Black Circle
Black
or
Circle.
the that like brew pub place.
Yep.
Yeah, we flew out there to play a couple of shows with Mulder. We did Chicago the first night. It was the two of us, and then before Frozen Soul blew up, their their tour with fuck, I can't think of the name of the band. But yeah, so it was Frozen Soul and us and Mulder in Chicago, and then the next night we played Indianapolis. We were running on no sleep, and we had a monumental fuck up in the middle of our set, and we all tried to correct it, but everybody tried to correct at the same time, and they ended up like flip flopping the
Oh,
wrong section they were in. So they made it worse. And so then we just kind of, and we're like, well, we have to just stop the song. So we stopped the song, and it was like crickets in the crowd. And so I'm like, do we start the song over? What do we do? We were discussing it for a second, and the nail in the coffin is some guy in the crowd goes, play something. And we're like, fuck. So then we just started the next song and got off the stage as quickly as we could. It was so yeah, there wasn't a lot of people there, thankfully. So hopefully the if we ever come back to Indianapolis, people will have forgotten. But yeah, there's probably people that are in cool bands in that area that went to the show and they're like, dude, these guys fucking suck. I don't know why anybody's talking about them.
they're not going to forget about it now. There's going to be one, you're going to show up to Indianapolis and one dude, as soon as you get up, he's going to say, play something. You're going to be like, fuck you.
Yeah, it was brutal. I mean, luckily we didn't play last. Mulder played after us, and obviously they killed it just like they always do. So everybody had a good show, and I'm sure that it's not as big of a deal as I'm making it out to be, but it sure seemed like a disaster in real time.
Oh, I can only imagine, being a performer on stage and everything, just, you're just like, well, okay, what do we do now?
Yeah, because we've had that conversation before. It's like, hey, if somebody jumps into the wrong part, like just stop for a second and jump back in. And we had that conversation, and I think what happened was that our guitarist and drummer were both not doing the right thing. So then when they tried to stop and correct, they both ended up in the wrong spot again. So then it was just like it went from being fucked up to now it's really fucked up because now everybody knows that it's fucked up. See, it was bad. It was real bad.
That's when you have like a fucking laugh track and like everything fucks up. You just hit the laugh track and then like it buys you like a second to, okay, now we're gonna start from here.
Yeah, and I mean, if that happened to us now that we've been doing this for a long time, I'd just, I'd make light of it. Like it fucking happens. Fuck you guys. We're gonna play another song. But I was like just terrified, and yeah, I mean, it absolutely affected the set. But
Hell yeah. Well, that's all right. You recovered
yeah,
ish.
yeah, I'm sure we recovered enough. I'm sure I'm being hard on us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're probably right. You're probably more hard on yourself than anyone else is gonna be.
Oh, yeah.
But Frozen Soul, those folks are like doing some shit. They've like blown up. Um, they were, I think, technically the first like death metal band to play Red Rocks.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
How fucking cool is that?
Yeah. And those are the nicest guys.
Yeah.
Every conversation we've had with them has been great. When we played that, we played with them twice now. We played with them in Portland. But that night in Chicago, we were all drinking, and Chad and I and the other guys were all sitting around the table, good buzz, talking about how, death metal's one big brotherhood and everybody needs to help each other out. It's a good time. Those guys are nice and they deserve everything that they're getting.
Yeah. Yeah. They were just here a few weeks ago with Creeping Death, Enforced, and Gates to Hell.
Mm,
And that was a fucking fantastic show from start to finish. We kind of hung out and chatted with uh, with Chad and Sam a little bit backstage. But so one of the venues here, Portal, it's fucking fantastic venue. They're getting a lot of really great shows. Like one part of it, the building is a huge fucking building. The front is does metal fabrication. Then the
mm,
middle is the venue, and they say capacity is like 350, but like that room is a lot bigger than 350. Like in my mind, I think 600 people would fit in there. It'll be tight, but I think you could get 600 in there. And then on the backside of the venue is like an art space. So they've got probably 9 or 10 like office areas that people rent out and do shit. And then part of it's like just like an art gallery
mm.
in the middle. And they've got like I don't know, like a coffee bar or some sort of bar like right in the middle of all of it. So it's super cool. But one of my buddies has got a tattoo shop in there, and a cool show comes. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna come hang out with you, okay? And he's like, yeah, that's cool. Like, fuck yeah. Super cool space though. I think I don't even know where I was going with that. I think I just wanted to rave on Portal because it is a fucking awesome space.
Shout out to Portal.
Hell yeah, Portal Louisville. Me and my stupid ass finger guns. What was that? Um, so what's next for you guys?
Well, I mean, we're already working on songs for album 3. I've got a big list in my phone of different ideas of things to write lyrics about, and just, yeah, we're definitely not wanting to have such a big span of time in between records. Um, so yeah, we want to get the ball rolling with working on that. Definitely want to do some more playing of shows outside of Portland. Um, that's really the main focus right now.
Okay.
And just sitting back and enjoying what people have to say about this record. We're super proud of it. So every time I get a notification that somebody commented on the Instagram post saying that the record is sick, I'm just, fuck yeah, dude.
Like, hell yeah, this is what we fucking want. That, and that's, I think that's validating, right? When someone's like takes time out of their day to come comment or message and be like, dude, you guys are so fucking awesome.
Yeah, it definitely is a cool feeling. Um, I've been sitting around waiting for the bad reviews to come because they will. There's always somebody out there, but
You're too small to have a bad review yet. They want to wait until
well,
you get bigger.
there was. I wish I remembered the name of the guy. Otherwise, I'd put him on blast because he's a coward. But somebody posted a bad review. They were talking a bunch of shit about the record, and um, I wasn't even able to finish reading it before the phone said the web page wasn't available anymore because the guy deleted it. So I don't know if he posted it and people were like calling him a bitch or something, but yeah, he's saying all this crazy shit about the record. But so there was one. Some guy hated it enough to where he's like, I'm gonna talk shit about this, you know.
He didn't hate it. He just wanted he loved the album. He just wanted to talk shit about something. That's why he took it down real quick, I bet.
Baby. Yeah,
Motherfucker. All right, Hayden. I greatly appreciate your time. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me tonight and chatting.
of
I've had
course.
had a lot of fun learning about you and like your rich musical history. Thanks, Dad.
Shout out to Carl.
Yeah, Carl, Carl Johnson, you fucking rock, dude. Um,
The best.
the best, the best, the best. Wha- What a God, I have terrible dad jokes. That's
I'm here.
fucking well, I just
I'm
did the best
dad, so I'm here for it.
and the finger guns. Like
Finger guns are cool. Don't ever stop with the finger gun.
right on.
Someone
Um,
tells you ditch finger guns, you get them out.
hell yeah. Well, maybe we can get you guys out here and I'll fucking give you like while you're up there playing, I'll be like,
No, get you right back.
all right, some finger guns. All right. Hayden, go have a great night, man. I look forward to hearing what comes for you guys from you guys in the future.
All right. Thanks, man.
You're welcome, dude. Have a great night.
You too.
Thanks. See ya.